How you doing, YouTube? Matt, Massive Beer Reviews. Back with yet another review. Fucking milkshake time. OG milkshake time in the form of Tired Hand Brewing's and Omnipolo. It's their Tart Cherry Milkshake IPA. I have not dranken? Is that a word? Is that a phrase? Is that correct? I have not had a Tired Hands milkshake in fucking forever. I mean, if you look online, it's probably the last time I did one, I think, is when I reviewed one, and that has to be over a year ago. Maybe closer to 2. So I'm kind of excited to dive into this. This comes courtesy of Brian from out Philly way. Thank you very much, brother. He sent me off a bunch of Pennsylvania and Philly area-ish beers, and it was funny during the unboxing. I was like, there's going to be a milkshake in here, and lo and behold, there was. And I'm just super tickled. Not that I covet these beers. More often than not, I was not unimpressed, but I was like, okay, milkshake IPA, whatever. A couple of really done me proper, but I love cherry-flavored things. And I'm kind of in a mood for something a little bit fucking, milkshakey pastry, so let's see what she's got. As far as what it says in here, it says Tart Cherry Milkshake IPA. This beer can is hyper fresh, unfiltered, and fragile. Keep cold. Enjoy the contents ASAP for a beautiful and befuddling or organoleptic experience. Please recycle. And they have the Tired Hands and Omnipolo tags on there, so good on you. I don't think they did that the whole time. Tired Hands, I could be wrong, but done and done. Let's see what she's got. Yeah, I mean, my milkshake exposure has been very much not Tired Hands. They were kind of the originators on the Polo. I actually had the first milkshake IPA ever when I went out to, that shows you how long ago. God, very long ago. A couple years ago, in January, I went to, for my birthday, I went to New York and I went to Tart, and they had the OG original milkshake that was made from Omnipolo and Tired Hands on there, and I thought it was fucking fantastic. And I've had variants throughout the years, but yeah, it looks like a milkshake IPA. Super huge and dense. A rich kind of cataract on it. I mean, when I talk about cataracts, basically what I'm saying, there's like a milky kind of haze and halo around things. And I don't know if you can actually see this on camera, but like from here to here, it's infinitely different color from here to here. So it has a kind of tight, compact bubble, not creamy, rocky head with that cataract top. Sometimes you get it a little bit more on the edges, and that's what I talk about a lot of times. But here it's more of like a leveling thing. It's got that rich kind of density, more kind of like a doo-doo brown kind of thing going on with a bit washed out than anything else. But does she look like a milkshake IPA? Sure. Let's get a nose. Yeah, I mean, soft cherry vibes. Nothing too crazy. But you're getting that lactose in there. There's a big bittering component on the other end of that, which is probably needed just to bounce off that kind of big, huge sweetness. But it's coming off a bit like weed pulling kind of weediness. And, lactose drives the day, but it's not like head and shoulders above all the other bits and pieces of the beer. It smells nice, but it doesn't smell like a crazy over-the-top lactose beer. It smells like, an IPA with a little bit of kind of lactose going on. Nothing too crazy. It smells nice. Let's dive in. Cheers. Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. I get the tart portion of the show. It does give you a nice kind of soft cherry vibe. Nothing too crazy, but there is a little soft tartness on the edges. If they left that off the label, I'd be okay with it. Lactose is there, and it does have a soft bittering to it, like I kind of talked about. A little bit more aggressive in the taste. And it's definitely that weed pullingness with a little bit of kind of generic bitterness. And a relatively thin body, too. It's not like an over-the-top, like, dense kind of beer. When you talk about a milkshake IPA, you kind of expect a little bit of kind of heft to it. Not really getting it here. That's okay. It's a little bit more of, and I've talked about this in the past, a little bit more kind of like cereal grain. Like, I talk about sweetness in a couple different ways. I talk about cereal grain sweetness, which I can get down with in certain ways. This one's a little bit more kind of sweeter, and I talk about like a hard candy kind of sweetness, which I'm really not a big fan of in IPAs. It's somewhere between that kind of cereal grain and hard candy kind of sweetness, which just comes off as like a kind of, it's not liquor, but it has like a soft liqueur kind of vibe to me. So in all aspects, it's a fine beer. It just doesn't really do much for me. And honestly, it doesn't really taste like a milkshake IPA to me. Listen, you're talking about the OG status of kind of creating the milkshake IPA. So they're obviously the ones that kind of know how it's supposed to taste, but this just does not come off as a milkshake IPA. It comes off as an IPA with a soft lactose component and a slight tartness. You know, is that me reading a little bit too much into it? I don't think so. I just think it's just lacking something, lacking a little bit of depth, lacking a little bit of cohesiveness. That's probably the biggest portion of the show, and I'll kind of grab onto that, is that it does have soft lactose. It does have a cherry component. It does have a tart component. It does have an IPA component. But all those are singular. There's really nothing that ties it all together. They all come off as individual notes and flavors, and there's really nothing that makes the beer itself kind of like one soft, cohesive experience. I've had some really great milkshake IPAs. The one from Mars out in Chicago. Also Chicago, Hot Butcher has crushed it. Their double blazed milkshake IPA was fucking like top notch for me. And this just comes off as, is it lazy? I don't know, but it just comes off as components mixed together as opposed to components used to create something. Not a bad beer, not a negative beer, but not worth $28 a 4-pack, let's put it that way. And how much is that folding chair you buy? That's got to be at least like $30-40. So talk about, you gotta buy a folding chair and then $28 for this. I mean, your profit margins, 8 Z's on those margins. So anyway, let's talk about it. Is it one of the better milkshake IPAs I've had as of late? Actually, no. On the outside looking in, value and availability, you know, it's tighter hands. You know? And leave you with, if you like what we like this. If you like milkshake IPAs and you're just looking for a hop aggressiveness, soft lactose, the bits and pieces of what create milkshake IPA, and you're totally kosher with that, you'll be fine. But if you're looking for upper echelon milkshake IPA, this one just kind of fails to deliver. There you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there, if you want to talk about it, Massive Beers. If you want to check me out doing the social media stuff, Beer Massive. If you want to check me out doing the whole podcasting thing. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a nice little milkshake IPA right now. And hope to see you next time. Cheers.